Fatima Kollere, please come and present your piece. The floor is yours. Fatima
Assalamu
Kollere.
alaikum. Good evening, everyone. The title of my poem is Not a Love Poem. This is not a love poem because if it was, then I would tell you how you are the first thought that consumes me the moment I open my eyes in the early hours of the day, even before acknowledging my surroundings, or how you are the last thing on my mind before sleep consumes me in the late hours of the day. This is not a love poem, because if it was, then I would tell you how you make my heart grow wings and flutter like a butterfly. This is not a love poem, because if it was, then you would know how you are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Even though I know we aren't meant to be together forever, you will still be my beautiful mistake forever. This is not a love poem, because if it was, then I would tell you how I replay your voice notes over and over till I know each and every comma, full stop, and the breathing in between your words. This is not a love poem, because if it was, then you would know that I would choose you over and over and over again, even after knowing you would not do the same. I genuinely meant it when I said you are my beautiful mistake. This is not a love poem, because if it was, then you would know that I will always love you. That's it.
Thank you very much, Fatima. What an inspiring performance. Thank you very much. We will like to
Thank
move
you. Thank you.
to the judges. Please, we would like to hear your assessment. Abdurabihi, we would like to hear yours first.
Thank you very much, Fatima. Okay, thank you very much, Fatima. To be honest with you, um, I must start by saying that I love every aspect of this performance, starting from the rendition, or rather the performance, coming to also the structure of the poem. And like the most important thing for me is like how this poem is able to connect with me so deeply while I was reading it and while you are performing it. Even if I'm not looking at the writing, I would of course be connected with how you are taking your time performing it bit by bit. I was like very sad when the poem came to an end. It's like I was listening. I was anticipating that the verses or the stanzas would go on and on and on, because starting with this is not a love poem, while it is also a love poem. That is the use of this beautiful figure of speech. I also love the fact that poems that usually center around love are sometimes too direct. Yeah, writers have choices in the way they write, but what is beautiful is that when somebody writes in a way that people don't usually write in that manner, I love it when I see people with style, and that's why I always respect the school of seeing works as, starting from their form. That is formalism. I love it because in formalism you're allowed to write about whatever subject matter you decide to write about, but the language is important, the style, the way you put your words and everything. So this is what I've got to say. I will just say keep writing. I love the choice of words, the diction, and I also love the concept and how you also use irony, or if you like, oxymoron, if you like, or something like that about opposition, and you still talk about love. So thank you very much. That's what I've got to say.
Thank you very much for that assessment. Next, we invite our next judge, Musa Abdul Jalal. Please come forward. The floor is yours.
All right. Um, I think this poem reminds me of um, Wana's poem. It's a spoken word poem. This is not a feminist poem. Immediately she started, because in Wana's poem also, she starts every stanza with "this is not a feminist poem," and I think it follows the same pattern, and I love it. And I think I'm probably just adding to what Abdurabi he said, but the only thing I wanted to add is, as poets, we should always try to avoid cliches. And I think Abrazak also mentioned something like that. It does not matter whether you do page poetry or you do spoken word poetry, you are a poet. So it's one of the first things you edit for when you edit your work. You avoid cliches. And I'll just give an example with just one cliche from the poem. I think it is in the third stanza. This is not a love poem, because if it was, then you would know how you are the best thing that has ever happened to me. We all know that telling your loved one, that telling someone you love that you are the best thing that has happened to me is a cliche that everyone uses, and they are a poet. This is not a line that should be found in your poem. I think that's the only observation that I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Building on those comments, in the absence of our next judge, would like to hear from Abdulrazak Salihu. Are you here?
Yeah, I am here. What I wanted to talk about was what the judge that just spoke now said, which is about cliches. And Abdurabi also spoke about how it is, I don't know if that was exactly what he was saying, but from what I heard, from what I felt he was saying is, it is difficult to write love poems because there's almost nothing new to say in love. But so I hardly write love poems. I don't even like love poems because I always feel like there's hardly ever anything left to say in love poems that has not been said. Like, waiting remain. Like, you are the butterfly in my tea. You are the sugar in my cupboard. Everybody has said all those things. But when I read good love poems, I know they are good because I think when everybody is doing the same thing, it is very easy to do something extraordinary, because all you have to do now is do what everybody is not doing. So one advice I give to people that write love poems, because me, I don't do it, is when you finish writing, because most times love poems come with that urge or the surge of emotions. You want to write, you are the first thing on my mind and the last thing when I sleep. And when I open my eyes, I see you. When I close my eyes, I see your shadows. All of that. When you finish writing all the cliches that you're going to write, remake all the lines. By remake now, every cliche line can become a better line. So I think that's basically what I want to say. So in as much as it is very hard to write a distinct or beautiful love piece, it is very easy too, because all you have to do now is not say what everybody is saying. Easier said than done, but it can be done. And I think there is this love piece that I would want to recommend, but I cannot remember the author. But I think the title is Love Notes, something like that. If I find it, I will share it with one of the hosts to send to the person that read. This is not a love poem. That was a love poem. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abdulrazak, and we are looking forward to you sharing that. Thank you very much.